Welcome to the Manifest, Manage, and Multiply Money podcast. I'm Audrey Faust, the Manifesting CFO, and I'm your host. And on this podcast, we are going to hear real conversations from women who have built multi-six-figure, seven-figure, and even multi-seven-figure businesses. We're going to explore the identity shifts, the mindset, and the leadership evolutions that they went through in order to grow a business. You know, the things that nobody talks about, because building wealth isn't only about strategy. It's about the mindset and the woman you have to become in order to do this. Now, let's dive in.
There we go.
So I am here today with a wonderful multi-six-figure CEO, Nicole Cramer. Nicole is a keynote speaker, sales conversation coach who went from a high school math teacher, I thought this was pretty cool, to the number one nationally ranked salesperson in her Fortune 500 company by mastering the power of genuine connection. Well, in a world of AI, we definitely need this now. And today, she helps business owners and professionals turn everyday conversations into opportunities using human connection, sales psychology, and strategic language. So thank you so much for joining me, Nicole. I'm so happy to have you here.
I am excited to be here, Audrey. Thanks for having me.
Sure. So we have a lot we want to get into and talk about today, but if you could first just tell our audience in about, 2 minutes or so, what you do now and what you love most about what you do.
What I do now is I'm a speaker and a coach, and I help people really understand how to make more sales through genuine human connection using, just like you said, strategic language, connection, and sales psychology. So understanding why people buy and why they make decisions. And what I love about it is there's so much mindset involved with selling and making sales. And the reason I love that is I know what it felt like to be afraid to sell, to be afraid to be salesy, to be afraid to be pushy. And after 15 years of teaching high school math, that was always almost the very thing that kept me from going into a sales job. And when I realized that you don't have to be that salesy, slick, slimy person in order to make sales, that it really is a relational opportunity, right? Building relationships and helping people. I thought, wait a minute, if you don't have to be that way and you can be a good person and make sales, I want everybody to know about this, because when everybody's making more sales, we're helping more people and we're making the world a better place.
100%. And I think women above anyone really struggle with being sleazy or slimy or, one thing I like to program in myself is selling is serving.
Yep. Yep.
I love that.
Yep.
Anyway, so how long ago did you start this business? And when you think back to the earlier stage of building your business, what did the earlier stage actually look like?
Hmm. I built my business at the end of 2017. And by my business, I mean, I think I had a website and some business cards and zero clue what to
Perfect.
do. Zero clue what to do. And I flopped around like a fish out of water for all of 2018 because I just had no idea what needed to be done. And it was confusing to me because I was really successful in my corporate sales job. And I'm like, but I had to be real with myself, but I've never been a business owner. And so towards the end of 2018, I realized hiring a business coach was going to be in my best interest because I need to learn from somebody who's done it. So after flopping around like a fish out of water for all of 2018 and working with clients for free, which is fine. I wanted to also get myself some experience. I invested in a business coach at the end of 2018. And that changed a lot in terms of, like, you asked the vision of like, what did it look like back then? Well, in 2018, like I said, it looked like some business cards, a website, and then me just putting some really, I don't know if I want to say bad social media content up there. I just didn't know what I was doing. Right. So I was trying
Yeah.
to get the word out there, trying to put myself out there. I was not consistent. I had visibility fears. I had insecurities around what people were going to say, like all the things that stand in the way of somebody actually going out and doing the thing that they really want to do. And so when I hired that business coach, things started to look a lot different. I created some structure, some intention, and some goals for myself that, really changed everything.
Good. Awesome. So I was speaking with another guest a little while back, and she also came from corporate sales. And one of the things she said was really different was going from selling corporate to selling yourself. Did you struggle with that as well?
Yeah, and it's interesting because that's what I would say a lot about being an entrepreneur. You're not just selling yourself, you're selling your own idea, your own beliefs, your own property, your own energy, right? And it is a weird feeling. What's interesting is when I first joined corporate sales, my hang up around sales and being salesy made me really hesitant to sell anything corporate, even though I get selling corporate versus selling yourself can feel different. At first, I was like, "Oh my god, I don't wanna sell corporate because," or like, "I don't wanna sell what we sell because I know we're gonna screw it up." Every company screws things up, but I had such fears around saying something to somebody and earning their trust, and then my company maybe dropping the ball somewhere that
Mm,
I had hangups around actually selling the thing. And to get around that, I started selling myself, meaning I knew I could count on myself. I knew no matter what, that's the surest bet for me. And so I would be honest with people and say, "Hey, we're going to screw things up just like your last company did, right? We're not perfect either. We're a group of human beings that genuinely cares about you and helping you. But I can guarantee you this: I will hold your hand through this process. I will be there for you, right? We're a group of humans that care." And so when I understood how I can't make guarantees on somebody's results or
right.
outcome, right? Even if it is a corporate service that we're selling, but I can make guarantees around how I will show up. And I think that switched a lot for me when I knew what I was really selling is the opportunity to take care of somebody else. I was really selling the opportunity to be there for somebody and make sure things went as smoothly as possible. And so when I went into entrepreneurship, it was the same thing. It was like, how do I sell that? How do I sell myself versus selling like it feels different though, because you really are vulnerable. You're putting yourself out there in different ways. But again, it's like, what can I guarantee? I can guarantee that I will show up. I will hold that person's hand and make things easier for them.
That's great. I love that. So you probably didn't have as much as a shift as she did, but you learned a little bit in corporate how to sell yourself, which is amazing. Like I find that women probably find that to be one of the most hardest things to
Mhm.
do in business. Do you find that as well?
For sure. Because I mean, women are better at sales for sure. That's like one thing I know. However, we are more hesitant to do it. And I
Mm,
think we're better because we're more empathetic, we're more curious, we really seek to connect more, and we let our fears get in the way of doing more of it and really just asking for the business because we're worried about how someone is gonna perceive us. And so we hold ourselves back from doing it. But yeah, we are much better in terms of like what I believe the sale really is. It's about building and nurturing relationships.
yeah, 100%. I
Yeah.
love that. I love your whole philosophy around sales. That's amazing. Was there any identity shifts that you had to go through building your business to where it is today?
Yeah, I'm still going through them all the time.
New level, new devil?
Yeah. I mean, we're always expanding. We're always, becoming more of who we are. And I believe that that's really what owning a business is. Like, you think you're starting a business, but you're really just starting a giant personal development seminar. Like, that's what this entire journey is. It's a lot of confronting scenarios where it challenges your beliefs, it challenges your thoughts. You have to become a different version of yourself all the time. So I've been through many iterations. And, even starting with from the very beginning, 2018 was also my first year of not drinking alcohol. I was going through all kinds of different versions of myself as you strip away different coping mechanisms and all of a sudden you're sitting there with thoughts, beliefs, feelings that you have not sat with before. It's a lot. And, it's worth every single second of growth and expansion that it's given me. But I think that's kinda how it feels in a lot of ways as an entrepreneur. Like, you're stripping away different ways that you've handled things and dealt with things because you have to become the version of you that got you where you are is not gonna get you to where you're going, right? You're
Right.
gonna have to continue to become an up-leveled version of yourself every step you get. And like you said, new level, new devil.
Yes. I mean, entrepreneurship is 24/7 personal development. That's for sure.
Yep.
What are some of those beliefs that you had to overcome? Can you share a
Mm.
couple of those?
Yeah, I think initially it was nobody wants to buy from me. Like,
Mm.
I knew I wanted to I mean, I remember before I had my first client just sitting with that, I mean, literal like angel devil on either shoulder, right? Like,
Yeah.
I knew I wanted to help people, and I had the benefit of having a lot of corporate experience where I had helped people. It was not an official relationship where I was like a coach within my corporate space, but because I loved helping and training any of the new people that came to our team, I knew I liked it, I knew how to do it, and I knew I was good at it, right? And so I knew I wanted to help people make more sales. But this belief of like, why you, why you, why you, like was always just standing in the way of me just putting myself out there and offering what I had, offering the way that I had to help people. And it's funny looking back because it's like, well, who was that about? Like, if I really have a way to help people and I'm denying myself from helping people, doesn't that sound ridiculous?
Yeah.
And so you've gotta be okay with being cringy. I know that's a word that gets thrown around a lot now. Back then, it was like, I don't even know if I believed it was okay to be cringy. I really just thought maybe if I just stay invisible, somebody will randomly find me somewhere and pay me money to coach them, and then I won't ever have to ask for the business. So it was all of and who knows, fear of rejection, fear of a lot of things, but that was a belief that really I struggled with a lot in my first year, and then I remember getting my first client and being like and then it's like, "Okay, maybe that could happen again." And maybe that could happen again, right? It's like popcorn popping. It's like, boom, there was one. Boom, there was one. And so I think as you shed away some of those beliefs, and some of it requires an immense amount of trust because you have to trust before you can even see it. You have to trust that there's invisible progress happening at all times. And that takes a lot of courage to trust. But then when you see one little glimpse, one little piece of evidence, you're like, but then again, there's another limiting belief like, well, you just got lucky. That was just one time, right? So
Mm.
it's
Yeah.
constant, even when we have evidence to like, to believe that what we want is true, we will still find a way to insert some kind of doubt there. So you just have to be so on top of your thoughts and aware that you get to control them because if you aren't, then they will control you.
I think that's something I learned as an entrepreneur, for sure, is like one of the first coaches that I worked with was a mindset coach.
Mhm.
And I never knew, and this was back in 2018 myself, and I never knew that you could change your thoughts. Like
Mm,
that was a new concept to me when I worked with that coach. I was like, what? I could, all
right?
those squirrels running around in my head, all those things running around in my head, I can change them?
Right.
Like,
They're not
holy
in
shit.
charge. Yeah.
Like, that was just groundbreaking for me when I
Yeah.
first learned that, and that is one of the reasons I actually became a certified neuro coach and started working with the mindset because that was just totally mind-blowing to me when I found
Yeah.
that out.
Same. Like, wait, I don't have to just they're not in charge. I don't have to believe them. And I thought for a long time in my life, even before I wanted to be an entrepreneur, even before, like, even as a very young girl, I remember always thinking there were like rules that like the just right and wrong. And you just,
Yeah.
and your thoughts were part of those rules and you just had to listen to them. And it's like, oh my God, there are no rules. Like as you get older and you grow up, you're like, wait, two things that I love knowing that also scare the shit out of me. There are no rules and nobody knows what they're doing.
Yeah.
Nobody. It's all of our first
I
time
love that
living.
you
We're
just
just figuring
admitted
it
that
out.
on the podcast. Nobody knows what they're doing.
Nobody. Nobody. Like that's what's fascinating to me, and it's equal parts fascinating and also completely fearful. Like, wait, what? What? We don't really know what we're doing? No.
That's fantastic. What about any, like, money mindset, like, that you had to beliefs that you had to overcome? Was there any
I don't think we have enough time in the day to cover that, Audrey. Yeah, it's constantly where I am up leveling. Absolutely. Like it is so easy to fall back into old habits. It is so easy to look at reality, and for anybody who's just listening, not watching, I did some major air quotes there because I think reality is informing us of what we've already manifested and created, but it can take us out of the game to attract what's already trying to come to us, right? Like there's always things that are coming our way at all times, but our beliefs are blocking them. And so when I say reality, it's like we can all look at our bank account and make a certain judgment about what that means based on what's in there, but it doesn't
Oh,
have
yeah.
to mean anything. And I'm still battling that, a lot of times. And I make it mean something in both directions. Look at all the money I have. Oh, I better go make some more sales. Like where it's like, why does that have to mean anything? Because I've never not figured it out. We've always all been okay if we're still alive on some level. So I think for me, it's very easy. Well, here was an interesting thing for me, and I think you'll find this fascinating. I got more scared of money when I started making a lot of it.
Mhm.
And that surprised me at first because I was like, oh my gosh, wait, what's going on? If I have money, if I have all this money, but then you're like, what if it all goes away? What if things stop working? You know what I mean? And so it's like, I kind of thought early on in my entrepreneurial career that making lots of money was going to be the answer. And then I
Yes.
made lots of money and I was like, what is going on? What is going on? Why does this not feel like the answer? It doesn't
Safe.
feel
I
safe
don't feel
here.
safe yet,
Exactly.
right?
It doesn't feel safe here. And so that was really strange. And what I learned is that it just enhances, money isn't the answer. It just enhances the person that you already are. It enhances the behaviors that you already have around your money. And so if you were fearful of it before, you better believe you're going to be fearful of it once you start making a lot of it. And that was very surprising to me.
Yeah. I interviewed someone else, Tracy Goodwin, and she actually grew up with money and she would spend it all because her parents used money to control her. So
Mm,
it's like so many things that we're taking with us. We think,
mhm.
like you said, we think now I'm making multi six figures. I can relax when I get there. No,
Nope.
that's not the case because we all think it could just go away
Right.
tomorrow.
Right. Totally. And it's like, and if you don't actually my therapist caught me once in not even realizing I was having those kinds of behaviors and thoughts because and I saw him for many, many years. There was one year I was on his couch and it was when I was still very, very new. I think it was like 2018, 2019. And I was like, if I could just make 10K in a month, if I could just make 10K in a month. Like I was just so hung up on this idea of making $10,000 months, right? Because that meant something about me. I don't know. At
Right.
the time, I didn't think it meant something. I just thought I need $10,000 a month. The next year, almost to the day, I think, it was about a year later, I was sitting on his couch and I was like, "Oh my god, I just need to get to $20,000 this month." And I'd already made like $15,000, right? And it was like the month wasn't over and I just still had and he's like, "Hold on. Almost a year ago, you sat on that same couch and you just said if I could just get to 10K. And now you're saying the same thing, but it's about 20K. So I just want to know, when's it going to be enough?"
And
And
what
I was
was your
like,
answer?
I didn't have one. I didn't have one because I was like, I guess 50K or 100K months. And then I got there and I went, wait, shoot, that's not the answer either. Like it's never going to be enough because it's not that the money isn't enough. It's that your mentality has already decided that whatever's in front of you isn't enough. And so anything that's in front of you is going to feel the exact same way.
Wow. That's some deep insight. I love that.
Right? It's like it's your thought process. It's not that what's in front of you isn't already enough, but you're not recognizing it as that. So it's never going to be.
Yeah, it's so true. It's so true. I want to build a six-figure business. Wait, I hit six figures. Oh, I want to go, multi six. Oh, wait, I'm there. Nope, now I got to go seven. Now I got to go eight,
Yep.
right?
Yep.
We're always chasing the carrot
That's exactly
and
it. Well,
keep moving it.
yeah, I did it when I was in my corporate job as well. And, I keep learning this lesson again and again and again. So I left my 15-year high school math teaching career, went into corporate sales. I had one goal, and that one goal was to be the number one salesperson in the country. And yes, it was really delusional to have a goal like that when I'd never been in a corporate sales role before. But I just was hell bent on making it happen. It sounded really cool. And to be fully transparent, I don't think, I know I thought it was going to make me feel a certain way. I thought it was
Right.
going to be my arrival, right?
Yes.
And I accomplished that. And under 2 years, I became the number one salesperson. But did I stop there? No, because then I had all these fears pop up of like, oh, if you don't do it again, people will call you one hit wonder. or, oh, you've got to do it a second year in a row so that you can like just all these extra things that I think I thought again, if I did it again, then I'll really feel confident in it and I'll feel good about myself. And after doing it a second year in a row and that feeling still didn't come, I was like, okay, if this is as good as it gets, I'm good. I'm good, God. Like it was a scary place to be because I really realized, oh my gosh, the angels aren't singing. The fireworks aren't going off. I thought for sure this, and it wasn't. And you have to sit back and go, okay, well, what was this? What feeling am I chasing? And how can I give that to myself right now where I am, regardless of my circumstances?
Mm, that's beautiful. I love that. Let's repeat that. What
Mhm.
feeling am I chasing and how can I give that to myself now? Like
Regardless of
that's
circumstances.
that's what we're all chasing, that
Yeah.
feeling,
Yep.
the feeling of good enough, right?
Yep. And we have the ability to give it to ourselves right now. We have the ability to believe it right now. Nobody said that's easy, but that's the work. Like that really to me is, there's a mantra I say a lot and it's feeling good is the work. And I got it from Abraham Hicks. I'm a big Abraham
I
Hicks
love
follower.
Abraham X.
And it's two things from them that I say, although I listen to them all the time, but the two things that I repeat, everything's always working out for me and
Yeah,
feeling good
that
is
one
the
I
work.
remember. I don't remember the other one.
Yeah, feeling good is the work and, everything's always working out for me, and it's not about having it all figured you don't arrive, you don't all of a sudden achieve some external 'cause it's all external stuff that we're chasing, but it's the internal piece that we're trying to fill, and there's no arrival of like, "Oh, I won this award or I did this thing and now I'm there." It's how do I help myself right now have that feeling, appreciate where I'm at, what's going on, regardless of what those external circumstances are.
That's so good. So good.
And it's catching yourself all the time. It's like, "Oh, there it is again." It's course correcting. Catch it, course correct. Catch it, course correct. "Oh, there it is. I don't like that thought. That doesn't work for me. That's not what we're gonna think today." And then get yourself back on track.
So, funny enough, I have another question for you that I'm curious to how you're going to answer it. What does enough look like for you
Mm,
now? And how has that changed? Leads perfectly into that question.
it does. I don't even know how I feel about the word enough sometimes. I think it can be used in a lot of great ways, but I think it gets attached too often to lack and scarcity. I just had a morning where, I went on a walk, which I do every single morning with my dog, and she's getting older and she's slowed down a little bit. And it's forcing me to be present and in the moment because I've got a bunch of things that I want to get back to the house for so that I can get started with my workday and do all the things that I need to do. And yet she's a 70-pound dog. We're not going anywhere if she decides that she wants to lay down. And there's a part of me that's always like, why did I walk her so far? Like, I need to start learning this. She can't go as far anymore. Right. But she'll have a really good day and she'll walk the whole thing and then I'll forget the next day and she'll slow down, whatever. But I just sat there and I was like, what else could I possibly want in life than this
Mm.
moment right here? It just happened to be a gorgeous day this morning, right? There's no wind, there's no rain, there's no anything, there's no cold. And just to sit there with her on the side. And like to me, that felt like it doesn't even feel like enough. It feels like almost overwhelming how incredible that moment is to just sit there with her and appreciate, like, I'm alive, I'm breathing, I'm on the right side of the ground, and so is she. And technically, I have some things I need to do today, but nobody's going to die if I don't do them right now. And so that to me feels like I said, that's why I kind of don't know that I like the word enough because it's like it feels like enough, but it feels like more than enough if I really let myself lean into what that
Yeah,
is. Feels like more than enough, and it's incredible. And what else could I possibly need?
that's beautiful. I love that. Yeah, we don't often, think about like and have gratitude for what we do have,
Yeah.
and every once in a while I get to be a snowbird and spend half of my year in Florida and half of my year in Pennsylvania. It's only been the last 3 years that I've been able to do that. And, it's sometimes I take a step back and say, like, I am lucky to be able to do this. Like, not that I haven't strategically planned it, but
Right.
also, there's gratitude for. that this is the life we get to live, right?
Yeah.
Matter where we are, no matter what we're doing,
Yeah.
simply walking the dog, right?
Yeah.
So,
Even when we strategically plan it, like there's absolutely a reason to continue to give so much appreciation and gratitude for it. Cause I think of like, this is maybe a random example, but I think of like the fires in Pacific Palisades last year. I lived in LA for a really long time. So that, seeing things like that was like, oh my gosh, all those people that planned for the home that they lived in and all the things that were lined up because of what
mm,
then got burned down. It's like, our circumstances can change so quickly for so many reasons at a moment's notice. And it's like in any given moment, can we just be grateful for what it is right now that we have that we're doing?
yeah. And, that goes back to Abraham Hicks, right? As you were saying, like,
Yeah.
that's what it's all about.
Yeah.
So, looking back at your journey to multi six figures, how did the inner work and the practical side of building your business come together?
I think it's back to like the worthiness piece that we were talking about earlier, the enough piece. It's like I had to start recognizing that what I had to offer wasn't just about me and what I wanted to do. It was about the opportunities that it gave to others that maybe they wouldn't otherwise have access to. Not because they couldn't find somebody out there in the world that does something similar to me, but there's a reason that some people vibe with other people. And when we really
Yeah.
fully show up to our fullest expression and we play full out with the gifts that we have to share, somebody needs that exact thing. And from us, the exact person that we are. And we're making it about ourselves when we're not letting ourselves fully show up like that. And when I say making it about ourselves, I think as a sales coach, when people are being salesy, it's because they're making it about themselves. They're making it about what they want. And to me, you said it earlier, Audrey, selling is serving. And I don't think that we're ever doing anything but helping somebody make up their mind. I think salespeople are just professional mind maker uppers. And the way you influence somebody, truly influence them, is by being the best leader of yourself and guiding and leading that person into what it is that they want by showing them what they want, showing them who you are and your vulnerabilities and how you show up in the world. And so that inner journey on my way to a six-figure earner was a lot of that. It wasn't, here's the perfect strategy. And I don't think there is a perfect strategy at all. It goes
No,
back to what I said earlier. Nobody knows what they're doing.
no.
And it's I don't even remember what my second one was. It's something and nobody knows what they're doing. So I don't think that it's oh, I finally found the perfect strategy after, throwing spaghetti on the wall for 2 years. No, I clicked finally with myself. Some of the beliefs started to lock in of that what I have to offer is incredible and it's going to change somebody's life. And if I don't show up and offer it, that might very well prevent them from doing something in their life. Like my yes is someone else's yes. Your yes is someone else's yes. Once we see somebody else do it that we resonate with, that we click with, that we connect with, it gives us possibility in our own heart, in our own beliefs. So I
Yeah.
think that we're really just walking permission slips and we're showing others what's possible for them by how we show up for ourselves.
Which is exactly why I have this podcast, right? So, these conversations with women that, as you and I were talking before the podcast, like there's so much out there of this strategy, this perfect strategy that somebody wants to sell you. And really it's the identity work, the mindset work, the like confidence work, right? That we all have to do, believe in ourselves. Like you really have to believe in what you're selling can
Yep.
change someone else
Yep.
in order to sell it, right? You
Yes.
have to really believe that. And like you said, selling is serving. If you believe that, if you believe like what I have is going to change your life,
Yes.
then how can you not
Yeah.
sell that?
You can only take your clients as far as you've gone yourself.
Mm,
And if you're not convinced, then you can't convince. You've got to be so in connection with how you help people and what you do, not because you're a perfect robotic, but you're a human being who genuinely cares and you have a way to help and guide someone to a different type of reality than they currently have. regardless of what you sell, whether it's a product or a service, you have something that somebody else needs in some way or wants in some way that will get them to a better place in their life than they are right now. How could you not hold your hand out and say, here's how we do this?
Yeah, I love that. So, you have a free gift for our audience, a framework. Do you want to talk about that a little bit, Nicole?
Yes. And it is my 9-step framework that I put together because so many people that I was working with were really unsure about how to navigate a sales call. Like, what do I say? And, what should I write a script? And I think scripts can be great. I think we don't want to use scripts with the intention or with the belief that because we say a certain line in a certain way, that that's what makes someone make a decision. That's not how that works, right? That's like assuming that if I say I love you to somebody that they fall in love with me. Well, that would be weird, right? That's not how things
Yeah.
work. Energetically, how we're using this language of influence is really important. So I think when we understand a framework of how to guide someone through a call, then we're able to create more of the results that we want and help that person make a decision. So this 9-step framework is what I put together that got me to multiple six figures, that has gotten to my clients tons and tons of results. So it's 9 steps to follow when you're in a sales conversation looking to help someone make a decision.
That's very generous because most people have to pay for that. So,
And it
thank you
works.
for sharing
So
that
download
process.
it, use it. There are some great questions on there. I have a lot of people that reach out to me after they use it and say, "Oh my God, it worked. I
It
got a client."
works. Yeah.
So yes,
That's amazing. And where can people find you, Nicole, if they want to connect with you?
I hang out a lot on Instagram at the Nicole Cramer. I also have a YouTube channel that has a ton of trainings and a lot of different fun instructional videos around great questions to ask and how to show up with more influence in your conversations. And that is under the Nicole Kramer as well.
Awesome. Thank you. So, then one last question that I ask everybody. If you could speak to a woman standing on the edge of her next level, what would you want her to know?
Everything's always working out for you. Go
Mm,
go for it. Like if your heart has called you to the edge of that next level and what's in that next level is truly a desire for you, then there's absolutely no way that it can't work out. And that doesn't mean that you won't be scared. That doesn't mean that there won't be challenges. That doesn't mean that things are not going to go wrong because they will. There will be challenges. You will be scared. But the aliveness that you'll feel in going after and pushing up against that edge is what you're here to do.
mm,
That's what it's all
that's
about.
beautiful. Wouldn't be on your heart otherwise, right?
Yep. Yep. God is not a tease. There's nothing that's being put on your heart because you're not supposed to have it. It's there because
Mm,
it's be for you.
love that. Thank you so much, Nicole. This has been awesome. I
Yeah.
appreciate your time today. And thank you so much for your free gift and being here.
Yes, you're welcome. Thanks for having me. Makes me super happy to know that women supporting women, showing others what's possible is helping all of us in a bigger way. So thanks for having me, Audrey.
Thank you. Thank you for listening to the Manifest, Manage, and Multiply Money podcast. If this conversation resonated with you, please share it with another woman who's building something meaningful. And if you are enjoying this podcast, I would greatly appreciate it if you left a review. Leaving a review can help more women discover these conversations. And until next time, keep manifesting, managing, and multiplying your money.